Hi, Hariharan. Hope you are doing good. I just review your CV. It's look good. Could you please tell about yourself?
Yes, ma'am. So myself, Hari, I'm working as a DevOps engineer. So currently, right, I'm having around overall 7+ years of experience. In that past, 4 to 5 years, I'm working in DevOps. My day-to-day activity, right, mostly into Terraform. We have a mini Jenkins pipeline and all. So all the Terraform related codes and things and stuff, right? Whatever the activity we do manually, my main task is to automate all those things using Terraform. We manage state files, whatever the activity we performed in our environment and platform, right, we supposed to do it through Terraform. And addition to that, we use Python Boto 3 scripting, and we have Cloudformation templates, and we have CI/CD Jenkins tool we have in our platform. Okay, so this is about my current day-to-day activity. So mostly we are into DevOps. This is my the basic day-to-day activity now.
Okay, let's move to the questions. Could you please explain difference between CloudFormation and Terraform?
Okay, so Cloudformation and Terraform both are infrastructure as a code, first of all, which means whatever the activity we performs manually, those things can be automated in terms of resource provisioning. Okay, so in this case, Cloudformation is the default tool of AWS. Okay, and same way when you take Terraform, right, it's third-party tool, we can say. Cloudformation can only supports AWS-based automations. I mean, AWS-based resource provisioning and infrastructure setup. But Terraform is not like that. We can use Terraform for multi-cloud also. When there is a hybrid cloud environment where people use AWS, Azure, GCP, Kubernetes, multiple cloud providers. So Terraform is the single tool can manage all the cloud providers resource creation, and it's open source. So it uses HCL language, HashiCorp language. Basically, HashiCorp is an organization who developed Terraform. Where if you come CloudFormation, right, you should go with any one of these two languages. Either it should be JSON or it should be a YAML one. So this is about differences of CloudFormation and Terraform.
Okay, Hariharan. I have one scenario. Your client wants to set up a VPC auto-scaling load balancer. In this task, which are the parts you will make it as variable?
Okay, sorry, ma'am. Could you please repeat? What are the resources I'm gonna create from Terraform?
Okay, no problem. We'll repeat. Your client wants to set up a VPC, auto-scaling, and also the load balancer. In this task, which are the parts you will make it as a variable?
Okay, so when my client want VPC and auto-scaling load balancer, right? So these three, one I wanted to set up as a variable. Okay, we'll start from VPC. When I go for creating VPC from Terraform, I need to make it a variable is like region, of course, and VPC CIDR, the subnet CIDRs, and availability zones. Okay, and when you come to auto scaling, right, I need to go what is the minimum node, maximum node, and AMI ID, instance type, security group. Those were the one we need to make it as variabilized. Same way when I go to load balancer, right, backend instances, and I need to update what type of load balancer I'm going to use and what network it should be. I mean VPC, and again what subnet I gonna prefer, and health check related information. Those are the items I need to specify as a variable. One thing on security group as well. So these are the items I'll make it as variabilized in the variable.tf file.
Okay. Can you explain the infrastructure you automated any Terraform template in your experience?
Yeah, in my exposure, right, in my experience, I've done many Terraform automation. I'll tell a few of them as a example. I did, account standardization activity. Account standardization activity mean I need to involve almost 3 to 4 different area. One is log management. Second one, account security. And third one, monitoring. And fourth one, standardized components. So each and every, module. Let's take an example of security. When I'm writing a Terraform code for security, it starts from A to Z, like a security group and ACL, network security, and encryption and IAM, policies and the permission boundaries. All those things fall into picture. come to log management, right? I'll have a cloud trail, all the region logs to be captured, and it should be put in the specific S3 bucket. That part have to be addressed. And the third one, right, account standardization. Here I need to go with all the general resources, and KMS key I need to create, and I need to go with having a backup policy. I need to go with password policy. I need to go with AWS config. All these things, right, should be enabled. So these are the major module which part of my activity. I did the end-to-end things, and we created main .tf file, and we have integrated all those 3 modules over there. And when I ran the Terraform script, the single automation will take care of account security, account standardization, and log management. These 3 things will be addressed. There are a lot, many items we have now automated. So right now I could recollect these are the activity which I performed.
Okay, Ari. If suppose I want to create 5 subnets, later I may need to create 2 subnets, and future it will keep vary.
Okay. So could you repeat your question? Sorry.
Okay. If I suppose want to create 5 subnets, later I may need to create 2 subnets, and future it will keep vary.
Yeah. So in that case, when you have a different requirement, when you do not have any constant or static value, we can use count function in Terraform. When you go for count, right, if you want to create 2 subnet, or if you want to create 4 subnet, or later if anything your requirement goes vary, the count, using the count function, we can fulfill the details and things and stuff. Okay, so that is something called it as count function in Terraform. Using that, we can achieve your requirement.
Okay, what is Terraform modulation concepts?
So when you go for writing bigger resource, infrastructure resource and components, right, modulation will help you to split up your resources. Also, it helps us to troubleshoot when there is an error or when there is an issue. We can go to the specific module and we can work on that particular module. And apart from that, right, we have many more options. It will be easy for us to work and distribute. In my team, right, there will be 3-4 developers will be working for developing the Terraform component. One guy will work on one particular module, another guy will work on another particular module. Finally, we'll push the code to our GitHub. Okay, so we can split the work among ourselves and we can work it. Okay, and from when you have a multiple modules, future, if you're not required to run any specific module, we can comment and we can execute a specific module. Okay, it's a proper way of organizing your resources, maybe in Terraform. Using the modules, multiple module, we can organize our Terraform codes actually. By the way, right, it will be great to have modules in Terraform.
Okay. Could you please explain about the industry standards? What all we need to consider while developing the Terraform code?
Yeah, industry standard about Terraform when consideration, right? Yeah, we are not supposed to hard code any value into our Terraform TF file itself. We need to have a proper variable.tf file. All the values should be passed through this variable.tf instead of hard coding. And wherever possible, right, we need to use locals. Okay, we can go with the proper naming standard when the resource gets created. Each resource should have a proper tagging functionality. By the way, even the resource got created, right? It will be easy. And each and every portion should be properly created with comment section, because only then if future any other developer referring the code, right, it'll be easy for him to refer. That is another thing. And all the created resource should be pointed in the output.tf file. By the way, whatever the resource is being creating, right, we would able to see. Okay. Apart from that, yeah, as I said just before, we can have a proper modules for each and every portion of your script. The outputs, the variable name, or what if any user defined value I'm using it, everything it should be should be in proper standard. I mean, if someone else referring this code, he should be able to understand. In that way, I need to define all these codes and things and stuff. Okay. Overall, when you making it as a proper modulation, this resource for this module, second resource for second module, third resource for third module, that way, right, I think these are all the points I could highlight when you come for standardization of Terraform script, the consideration.
Okay, I have one scenario. The scenario is your client needs Terraform template for VPC, EC2, Cloud Trial, and IAM infrastructure architecture. So in this task, how you will decide for different modules?
Sorry, ma'am, I couldn't get your question. Could you please repeat if you don't mind?
Okay, no problem. I will repeat. I have one scenario. Your client needs Terraform template for VPC, EC2, Cloud Trial, and IAM architecture. In this task, how you will decide for different modules?
Okay. So just correct me if I'm wrong. I understood VPC and the EC2, another one.
Cloud Trial.
Cloud Trial.
And IAM architecture.
IAM architecture. Okay. So first of all, I will have my main.tf file where I'll mention my provider. I'll start from the provider, AWS or Azure or something. Later, I'll create a 4 modules. One is for VPC, second one is for EC2, third one for my this one Cloud Trial, and fourth one is for IAM. Okay, so source I'll create 4 dedicated directory. Okay, as usual I said 4 modules. I'll create 4 dedicated directory. Inside of each directory, the respective TF file with variable file will be there. Okay, so here the consideration is first I'll start from VPC. That is the backbone of all other resources, right? I'll start from VPC. I'll get VPC ID in the output tab and subnet IDs and all in the output tab. I need to pass the output to another module when I create either EC2 or whatever instance or whatever. So by the way, third module I'll work on Cloud Trial. Okay, inside the directory of Cloud Trial. In the main.tf file, I'll point the source, okay, to that specific location where my Cloud Trial source code got stored. It also has variable.tf file. All the variables, it will be added into a main variable.tf file. So user future they wanted to update any value, they can update it in one main variable.tf file, which will automatically passed inside of individual sub variable files. So this is the way I believe we can make it as proper. And if you want, we can create output.tf file also. It will be helpful for us to capture any output.
Okay. How you will debug the error from Terraform?
Debugging the error, you're asking, right?
Yes.
So basically Terraform, right? When I initialized, later it will ask for me to Terraform plan. In the plan itself, sometime Terraform init itself will get error. It will clearly point out which line number the issue is. Sometime, right, if you are wrongly used any variable names, sometime we have used wrong API call, wrong attribute or wrong property. So in that case, right, it will throw you error. Sometime when you are wrongly mentioning the variable name from one module to another module, if you are wrongly portraying different output variable name, right, at that time also will face the error. So accordingly, it depends. Like when you go for Terraform init, that time also it will throw you error. When you go for Terraform plan to check the sample output, that time also it could give you error. So based on the error only, we can go for check doing the debugging that specific issue. Even sometime plan up to plan it will work fine. When I go for exactly creating the resource, when I give Terraform apply, right, that time I face some issue. Terraform init will work, Terraform plan will work. Finally, Terraform apply stage, it will throw you error. That dependency is there with this resource. This resource has this dependency. Likewise, we have various different cases are there. We need to check that all the possibility, all the error. Based on that only we can go for debugging the issue.
Okay. Is it possible to manage existing resources from Terraform?
Yeah. Why not? People usually think that only resource whatever created from the Terraform it can be managed. Also, we have an option even existing resources, if anything available, even if creates manually also, we have option to manage. There is an option called Terraform Import. Okay, what you need to do, you need to create one dummy Terraform file. You need to define some dummy value in that file. If you give Terraform import with this resource name followed by resource ID, what you want to want to get into the Terraform control. If you're using the Terraform import command, you can capture that state file. So by the way, right, you can, the Terraform state file will be captured. You can start manage the existing resource also. That is possible.
Okay. What is the purpose of Terraform show command?
Terraform show command, when you have a state file, right? Somewhere you got the state file from the different location or something. If you give Terraform show command, that will display the list of resources. Okay, based upon that, it'll give you the it's not going to give you the list of resources, which means what I'm trying to mean, it will show you the source code actually, what exactly used to create that particular resource. It is one way of ulta reverse engineering process to get the source code by giving Terraform show command. From state file, it will show me the source code, which one the one you used to create the resource. It's very interesting one. So if we have some time, right, when we have some doubts and things and all, we'll give ulta reverse Terraform show command that will give me a source code. So that case we can use it for.
Okay, Dhiren, all answers are really good. I will hand over the data to HR team. They will get back to you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.